So good morning everyone again, or good afternoon if you're doing this in the afternoon. Thursday the 5th of August, and this is our third lesson, Maths, and we start with Maths Mentals. So what I would like you to do for Maths Mentals, and of course you can download these from Teams, is this is the Minute Maths book, and we did 1 to 5 on Monday, Tuesday. We did 6 and 7 yesterday, and today is Minute 8. And Minute 9. Go through, make sure you head up your book properly, write down the answers for those, have a go at everything. If there's anything you're really stuck on, put a big question mark there so I can explain that. And when you're finished, of course, the answers are at the back of the book. So, be independent learner. Go through and have a really good go first to keep your skills up. And then if you want to check your answers or you're not sure and you want to work backwards from your answer, go and have a look at that. Okay, the second book that you're using, which is mainly to dealing with operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We did 3 sets on Monday, or you guys did. You really steamed ahead. Then yesterday was set 4 and 5. And today I would like you to do set 6. And there's a little ponder problem down the bottom. And then skip through to set 7. These questions are really good because they use not only mathematical equations, but they also use everyday language such as 16 more than, or 2 dozen, or 16 more than 7, double 9. And so it gets you thinking that way, speaking about maths, as well as getting used to doing the equations. Okay, let's move on to fractions. And head up your book as fractions. Today we're doing page 25, 26 and 27 out of your Term 3 Maths student book. And just head it up with the date again as I showed you before, Thursday the 5th of August, but this time head it up fractions or comparing fractions like we did yesterday. Okay, now adding fractions is very similar to the subtraction of fractions, particularly when the denominators are the same. As you can see, all you've got to do if the denominators are the same is take the denominator across and write 5 and then add your top numbers. So, for example, here 1/5 and 2/5, you just carry the 5th across because you're using the same denominator, and you just add the top. 1 and 2 is 3, and you can't simplify that any further, can you? Now the next one's a little bit tricky because it's 3/4 plus 1/4. Well, it's not really tricky actually. So you carry the 4th across and you add 3 and 1, and of course that's 4. So 4 over 4 becomes 1. So that answer is actually 1. Look out for anything that needs simplifying, like in question 6. So when you add 4 and 2, that's 6 over 10. So make sure you don't leave it as 6 over 10. What top and bottom number are both divided by? It's 2, so you divide them by 2. And you keep going until the fraction is the smallest you can make it. So that's that page, and you can have a look at the little explanation at the top. When the denominator of a fractions match, addition's easy. The one rule is that whatever the denominator is on one side of the equation, it has to be the same on the other side of the equation. And they give you an example. And that's that explanation. So go through and do those 1 to 20 in your book. Then we're doing fraction adding, addition, but this time we're doing larger than a whole number. We've already seen how easy addition can be with fractions, but what if we end up with more than a whole? You will end up with an irregular fraction that you can convert to a mixed fraction. Let's look at an example. So here, for example, they use 4/5 plus 3/5, and of course that equals 7/5. Now when the numerator at the top is larger than the number on the bottom, now we've done this so much in class, that's called an improper fraction. So you've got to turn it into a mixed fraction. And the way we do that is we say 7 divided by 5 is 1. 5 goes into 7 once. 2 over, and then you put the 2 over the 5. 1 and 2/5. Copy the denominator from the question to the answer. It is important that the denominator does not change, so you never change the denominator. Add the numerator like a regular addition question. If you end up with an irregular fraction, convert it to a mixed fraction. Now you try some. Okay, so number 1, 2/3 plus 2/3. Well, we use the same denominator, 3, and 2 plus 2 is 4. That's an improper fraction, 4/3. Just ignore my dog over there, he's quite old. Okay, so 3 into 4 is 1, and 1 left over, so 1 and 1/3. Rosie, stop it. 1 and 1/3. Okay, and that's the same with all of those. Now for the mixed fraction, a really, really easy way of doing that is it's 1 and 1/3 plus 2/3. So straight away we're going to take the 1 over because we know we've already got 1 whole. 3 and 3 is the same. 1 and 3 is 3, so that makes another whole, doesn't it? So we add them. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay? So just go through and work through those. Remember, simplify your answer as much as possible. Okay, now this one is where, I want you to do this page as well, is where the denominator is not the same. So let's have a look at the little instruction at the front where with uncommon denominators. By this point, you must be pretty good at doing fractions, fraction addition when denominators match, because you do not have to do anything with the denominators. But what if they do not match? Simple, just make them match by converting one of the fractions to an equivalent fraction with the same denominator, then solve it like normal. Just make sure your answer has the same denominator. So let's look at 3/5 plus 3/10, different denominators, but we notice straight away that 5 goes into 10, so we use 10. How many times does 5 go into 10? Twice. So we've multiplied 5 twice to get it into 10, so we do it to the numerator. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9/10. Can't simplify that. Let's do the first couple together. So 2/4 plus 3/8. Which denominator can we use? 4 goes into 8, of course, so we'll use 8. How many times did it go into 8? Twice. So 2 2s are 4. 4/8 plus 3/8 equals 8's the same. 4 plus 3, 7. 7/8. And we can't reduce that any further. Number 2 is 1/2 plus 1/4. And of course we're going to use 4. 2 goes into 4. So we go 2 1s are 2. 2/4 plus 1/4. And of course that's 3/4 or 3/4. So just go through and do that and make sure you simplify. And then tomorrow we'll start with pizza problems. If you really want to go ahead and do pizza problems, please do that. Okay, that's it. Now, I've done 3 lessons today because the 4th lesson is all about catch-up. Even though I've got lots of people who've steamed ahead and done everything, there's also some people that haven't quite caught up yet. So the rest of the day, I want you to go through, catch everything up from Monday. And if you are still steaming ahead, if you want to keep going, you can, if you're understanding everything. Otherwise, you can stop and log on to Mathletics and do that. All right, well, have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow.